Alright, welcome back to another video. Today I have a small 8x10 shed I'm going to be doing, and it's got a little bit of a walk because I'm in the front yard on the street, and it's going to go around the back. I have to go to the left side and then go all the way to the far right side in the very back of the yard. I don't know how far that is exactly, but it's not going to be too terrible because this is a smaller shed. So it's pretty cold. Pretty cold today, which I will take cold over hot. Boy, I tell you, I had summertime in July, August. Phew, man, that gets me. Of course, you know, it's not frigid to the point where I can't operate. So, it's 39 degrees. That's perfect. It's a perfect temp. Well, it's officially 2024. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start unpacking everything and get everything set up in the backyard. I'll see you back there. Okie dokie, I got my tracks and most of my bricks ready to rock and roll. Just have to get these going. I would like to point out that I have a massive hole in the back of my pants, and so if you see that, just know that I know it's there. I did it this morning, picking up a fresh bucket, 5-gallon bucket of paint, and you know, I was practicing the proper method of picking up a heavy object, and they ripped. Anyhow, so today's video is going to be just me talking, sharing some random thoughts as I construct. I'm out here by myself. And, you know, the only other one to talk to besides you is Jesus. It's the Lord. And so, I'm just going to start talking, share some of my thoughts off the cuff. Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, I made a video about values and the importance of values, and how in knowing your values you can very easily make decisions when things arise, and you can align your life appropriately. You can align up your goals and plans of action appropriately when you know and understand your values. And so, something that I have been thinking about is knowing your purpose and why it's important to know your purpose, which you can also ask yourself, why am I doing this, or why do I want to do this or that? So, knowing your why is another way to say knowing your purpose, understanding your purpose. All right, they want this 3 feet off the fence. Now it's time to square this up. I want to say it's 153 5/8. Yeah, that's it. All right, it's 3 off the fence. Now I need to look at the house, make sure it's square with the house. It looks like it is. Yeah, that's spot on. That's a good job. Well, I gotta start laying bricks now, and I also gotta find my level, which is on the trailer. So I'm not really finding it. I'm just going to get it. All right, level. Just about there, so I need to go grab my flooring. A couple of roof pieces. But yeah, so purpose, knowing your purpose can most definitely give you a sense of meaning, give you a sense of direction, knowing where you're going because you know why you're going there. Knowing your purpose definitely gives you a sense of clarity and understanding why I'm doing something. Definitely makes me feel more fulfilled. And it also gives me a better understanding of me. And the more clarity I have of myself, my likes, my dislikes, my interests, it then helps me to relate to other people so that we can relate with each other in shared interest and passions. And I ask myself why all the time. I've made it a habit to ask myself, why am I doing something or thinking a certain way? And it helps me get clarity, yes, but then it also helps me to check my motives. I said that very pronunciated. Helps me to check my motives. And knowing your motives is an extremely important thing. Because you could be doing something for the wrong reason. And you become disheveled. And just, you start to very easily go down a mental path where you just start to struggle emotionally. Here's an example. I'll tell you a quick story. Back when I first started my YouTube channel, I was struggling with my job, with my handyman work. I did not have the intelligence to run efficiently, and so I became burnout. And in that burnout, I was looking for other means to make an income. So I was thinking, oh, I'll start a YouTube channel. So my original purpose in starting the YouTube channel was to make money. And that is a terrible reason. It's a good reason, but long term, terrible. Because when you start to serve money, money is a very poor master. Money, what am I trying to say? We are meant to master money. Money is not meant to master us. So, when I realigned my purpose with my YouTube channel early on, I found I absolutely enjoyed making videos. Just any kind of video. I just liked I just enjoyed the process. And so I discovered why I'm making YouTube videos is because it brings me an enjoyment of documentation and storytelling. And when I understood my why and shifted my motivation and my motives and my intention, then my whole paradigm shifted and I was able to function in a completely different way that it just aligned with my values much better, I guess. Okay, next up is going to be the walls. So let's do that. And I would also say, knowing your why or your purpose, also it doesn't have to be this deep philosophical thing. It could be extremely simple. Like, for example, I recently ran an ultra marathon. And it wasn't my first one, but it was a big one. And there were numerous circumstances throughout the training block that occurred, and I had to rehearse. Why? Why am I doing this again? Oh yeah, I'm curious. That's how deep it went. I'm curious to know if I have what it takes. Can I overcome these various obstacles in order to achieve this thing that not very many people, in light of the world's population, that not very many people do or can achieve. And so my why was just very simple. I'm curious to know, do I have what it takes? And you really truly don't have to know why you're doing something to do it. It's just, it can be helpful. But then it also, you can be doing something just to be doing it. There is a why, but you don't always have to know it. You could be doing it just because you love it, you enjoy it. That's why. Your purpose is enjoyment. I enjoy this thing, so that's why I'm doing it. But you don't always have to understand that. But when you do, it does allow a sense of fulfillment, understanding yourself. And you can relate that to other people. And then you can ask other people, why are you doing that? Well, what's the purpose in that? Oh, I see, I understand. Now I can relate to you. I have a better understanding of you. And you could also be doing something that doesn't really directly line up with your values. So like, you could be doing something and why you're doing it is there's a bigger picture for the little thing that you're doing. I wonder if I could express that thought a little bit more simply. Like, for example, when I was training for my ultra marathon, I had to go through little things that weren't necessarily lining up with the purpose and intention of doing the marathon. Big picture was to run a set distance on a certain date. Smaller picture, I was doing things that were meant to line up with that. That doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna put these walls together and think on that. Okie dokie, that's great. Got all the 4 walls put up, and now I'm gonna go on the inside and buckle it to the floor, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my trusses, put those on, and that'll be the next few steps that I'm gonna make. So yeah, I guess this is why this is off the cuff, because those are off the cuff thoughts. I didn't have them all lined up, and I still don't, but I guess sometimes there's a bigger picture. So like, for example, sheds. Why do I build sheds? Well, I think there's a bigger purpose in my life, and that is to be a provider to my family, and that is my bigger purpose. So that gives me the motivation and the understanding of why I am showing up day after day after day to do shed installations. It's because ultimately I'm a provider, and that's what I do, and that's why I do it. So I guess that's a good example. And now it's time to put the roof sheathing on. Yeah, so purpose. I feel like there are things that I do in life that I make goals, and then I discipline myself to go after those goals. And then I achieve something. And then I have this sense of, what am I doing with my life? I lose my sense of purpose. And I remember last year, I potentially could have fell. I did that sloppily. It's my own fault. Yeah, so the last year there was a time period where I was training for a ultra marathon, and different from the one I was remarking on earlier. And I had been training throughout December 2022. In January 2023, I ran a half marathon, continued training. February, trained. March 2023, ran a marathon. And then March, ran a marathon. In April, I then ran a 31-mile race. And which a marathon is 26 miles, and a 31-mile race is considered an ultra marathon. And I completed that and got back home, and I had this deep sense of meaningless. I had to reevaluate what I was doing with my life. I had been in this disciplined structure and training for this event, and now the event is over. I had to reevaluate, and to be honest, I was having these I wasn't depressed, but I was feeling pretty sad. I hate these nails, man. They get stuck. They buy these nails and they don't fit the gun right. and it tears my gun up. It shoots 2 nails at a time, or the seal inside of it gets broken. Okay, keep on keeping on. So anyway, after that race, I was just having these deep sense of purposelessness, meaningless. I just was questioning so much and felt lost. I felt lost. So I had to reevaluate why I was doing all that training in the first place. All that to say is that purpose is very helpful to give you a sense of meaning and emotionally stabilizes you in your identity as a person. Alright, I got the top portion of the trim on, so now I have to do the bottom portion. Pretty much ready for the bottom portion of trim, the shingles, the door, touch up paint, install these anchors, and then that'll be it. So then, speaking in regards to identity and purpose, I find that it doesn't matter what I do in my journey of self-discovery and understanding why I do things or why I want to do things, getting clarity of my intentions, knowing who I am as a person. I understand and I realize that it is all temporary. Ultimately, in the end, my body is going to go into the ground, and that's that. So what is the purpose of life? The meaning of life. And that brings me to our eternal purpose. This is all temporary, but we are eternal beings, and there is a God who has an eternal plan. He has intentions for us. He has a purpose for us. And his purpose is ultimately relationship with him. It's oneness and unity and with him, to be unified and to have relationship and enjoyment with him and in him, and so that is our eternal purpose, and that is a lifelong discovery, and that starts the moment you believe in Jesus. The very moment that you decide to follow Jesus is the very moment that you are awakened to an eternal reality, and that is the moment that you begin to understand your eternal purpose, and that is to walk shoulder to shoulder with Jesus. And so all of the other things I do, all my dreams, my ambitions, my goals, all of it, that is all just a shadow of what's to come. That is all, in my opinion, that is meant to be there to help steward relationship with Jesus. It is to help discover him. It's all there to help discover him and who we are, and that is ultimately in my opinion, our main purpose. So I hope that makes sense. That's kind of random thoughts. Okay, so trim. I gotta put the trim on. Gotta put the roof on. And I think the door, touch up, paint, and that'll be it. So I'll grab you after I do those things. Okay. that's it. That's everything. Shingles, trim, anchors, touch-up paint. Alright, so that concludes the video. I'm just gonna clean up and usually takes 10 minutes maybe 15. Can't forget the picture. All right, next time.